Draw a tree, Ethel Johnson of Orville may draw some conclusions about your personality. Barbara will have Ethel on our show right after these messages.
Johnson and Ethel, for 30 years, you've been kind of analyzing a person's personality by the tree that they've drawn. How did you learn how to do this?
I started a long time ago, well, 30 years. I saw it in a magazine. I thought it sounded like fun. So we were at a bridge club. I thought I'd try it on my friends. So I had them each draw a tree, and we had a good time. And then from there, I went to J.C. Wise and did a program from then. And then as the years rolled along, I went to many, many groups. They enjoyed because I talk about them, and I analyze their trees and tell them a little bit about themselves.
What are some of the things that you take into consideration when analyzing that drawing?
The size of the tree on the paper, the pressure of the pencil, the kind of a tree it is, if it's planted, or if it's a dark tree or a light tree. There are a lot of things to be taken into consideration. So,
let's take a look first of all at pencil pressure. What can you tell by that?
If they have a real light touch to the tree, that's drawn by a very gentle person, and they have a very easygoing way about them. But if the pencil pressure is very hard and harsh, it tells me they're very sure of themselves, and they're an aggressive kind of a person, and they know what they want out of life.
How can the placement of the tree determine anything about a person?
If they draw a small tree up in the corner of the paper, it tells me they're a very money-saving kind of a person. They're saving paper for, they watch their pennies very carefully. If they draw a great big tree for me, it tells me they're very generous. They're giving me everything they can on that piece of paper.
You mentioned planting a tree or not planting a tree. How can that determine anything?
And if a person plants their tree, it tells me they like the feeling of security. A lot of children will plant their trees or place them at the bottom of the paper. They like the feeling of security. And if a tree isn't planted, it's the kind of a person that doesn't like to be tied down, is ready to be on the go, and is easily moved about. They can function in any location.
You have a number of examples here for us today. How can the shapes determine something about a person?
If they have a cotton ball tree top, it tells me they're a warm cotton ball kind of a person. If it's a winter tree, the branches reach out, then they're an outgoing kind of a person. They reach out toward people. And if they draw a winter tree, usually it tells me they're also it's an honest kind of a person. You can't hide much behind a winter tree. And so they reach out toward people, and that's the kind of people they are.
What about the example such as a Christmas tree?
A Christmas tree, I love Christmas trees because it's always drawn by a sentimental person. And a Christmas tree always has a point at the top. And that tells me they're reaching for the stars. They're aiming high. If you draw a tall tree, it tells me you aim high, you think tall. And a Christmas tree always has a point at the top, and I love that.
What if things are placed in or around the tree?
If they have things around the tree, it tells me that they want their tree to serve a purpose. They want that tree to be for someone to come, to a bird to rest in their tree, or animals around the tree tell me that they want their tree to be a place for animals to come to rest. As the same thing applies to flowers and things around the tree too, because they want their home to be like that, like they have their tree.
What about a knot in a tree?
A knothole in a tree tells me they're a very forgiving kind of a person, because a knothole in a tree is really a mistake in a tree, but they drew it anyway, and that's the kind of people they are. They're forgiving. They can be friends with anyone. It doesn't matter if they're perfect or not. They can be their friend. Go ahead.
Ethel, this is a neat story. How accurate have you been?
Well, I feel I've been very accurate because through the years I've kept trees, and I've gone back. At the time I analyzed them, I thought, can this be this kind of a person? And even 10 years later, I found out I was right.
And if you'd like to learn more about analyzing a person by the way they draw their tree, well, simply contact the address on the screen. Ethel has written a book. I've been visiting with Ethel Johnson. Hope you'll stay tuned. More of Agri Country coming your way right after this.